This is the captain's chair for the UFO. So this has just arrived. I bought this second hand, really cheap. This is actually a arcade chair, like a retro amusement arcade chair that I bought for really cheap. So, you even get a handbrake as well. Not bad. Really cheap. This just cost me £15. I've been looking around for lots of second-hand chairs like this. Yeah, £15, which is about 20 bucks for you guys in the US. So yeah, not bad, not bad. It seems a little bit too good to actually start ripping apart, because I'm going to probably have to grind something off the bottom of the chair. So when it goes in the craft, it's going to sit flush to the floor, and I'll make some kind of like a base for it, or like a surround sort of base for it. I've got most of the door in now, so the door is going to be really good. I mean, when the actuator goes on, then it's going to look really good. So that's going to be at the top. That's going to be at the top of the UFO, and then when I activate the actuator, it's going to raise the door up and lower it again, and that is going to look really awesome. A brand new battery. What we've got here is a 12 volt 7 amp hours battery. I bought that from Amazon. So what we just need to do now is test the actuators and make sure it works. So what I've done is I've rigged up everything which we need in order to test it. So when you buy this actuator, you get this control box, and it's just like a very simple way of just setting everything up. So you just put the wires in for your power, wires in for the motor. It's got a switch on the side, which is a manual operation for the actuator, but it comes with an actual little remote. I thought that was quite cool. So it comes with that. So what we'll do is we will connect that one up there, and I fused it as well. I fused it with a 10 amp fuse just to protect the actuator. I don't want to blow anything, because that wasn't cheap. I think I paid about £60 just for the actuator. The battery was about well, I say £60, that's probably about $75, and that came with the remote, the control box and the brackets, and the battery was £16, which is what, $21. Right, so there you go. So we've got power now. So you can operate it manually like that and back again. But what we're going to do is operate it with the remote, because when it goes onto the UFO, this is going to be for the door. So from a distance, if I want the door to open, I can just push a button and that opens the door. How cool is that? And then press it again to stop, retract, I think should be that one, and then you push it again to retract. And then if you want it to do like the manual switch is just up or down, so you hold it for as long as you want it, like that, and then down. That's it. So yeah, all good to go for the actuator. All we need to do now is just fit it on the craft, fit it on the UFO, which is going to be a little bit fiddly, so it's going to take me a bit of time. So that's the next job. So what we're doing is I'm going to put a bolt in this time, because I've tried it twice with a screw, a very strong screw, and it's ripped the heads off the screws clean, and my whole door has come down like that and crashed onto the craft, so it wasn't good. I'm going to have to set up some kind of a system, basically run the wires on the outside of the craft so I can control the craft from here. That's the controller box. I do have a remote, however, that didn't go very well when I did a test run. What it is, the remote that I used, one of the buttons got stuck, so it just basically carried on coming out. It just extended the entire arm, and it ended up pushing the bracket there, and it snapped off. So that wasn't very good. So I don't think I'm going to use that anymore. I'm just going to use the manual switch on the controller. That's literally forward and back. There's 4 buttons here, and this is a little bit more complex. So I don't think I'm going to use that. That's the safest way to do it, so I know there's no weight on it then, and it can't do anything. What you can probably see is I've run a wire down there on the outside, so I'm now going to sit over there and operate the door. Everything is looking good. There's no reason why anything should fail. The electrics are good. There's nothing going to be in the way. So yeah. So we'll activate this. What I will do is just hold this very slightly to start with, and then okay, so it's now under its own weight. Let's see what happens. Get my chair. Now, at least if it does break like this, I'm not in the way, and I'm not going to get hurt. It's not going to fall on my head. So, what will be will be. So this is a big motor. Sounds very screechy and creaky. Right. One problem I've seen so far is that it's not sat down quite perfect like that, but that's not a huge issue. I can play around with that. The most important thing is that it actually closes and it opens on its own. The gap at the bottom there I can sort out. This is literally just to make sure that it works on its own. Yeah, baby. This is snapped twice already, but I've now got bolts in the top, so it should be fine. Oh, here we go. Oh. Alignment for some reason. Could be a number of things. that's a close-up of the actuator. Now what I've had to do, I've had to create some bracing and a platform for it to not only fix to, but I've had to create a lot of strength so that when the door opens and the force pushes the actuator back, I've had to create or put some extra wood at the back there to create a nice solid platform. And I know it doesn't look like much, but that took me 2 to 3 hours just to do this. So it looks pretty basic, I know, pretty simple, but I had to find the angle for this, and I also had to strengthen these holes here. As I said, these just had screws in before, good, really strong screws, but it clearly just wasn't strong enough. But that's the stage we're at the moment anyway. So now we can crack on and start to do the inside of the craft. I've just figured out why it wasn't closing very square. Because the actual hinge section, you could probably see that in the video actually when it was in there. I've literally only just seen this, that it was all round like that. It was all bent down. So that's why the door wasn't closing very square. So at least now I know. But you know, as I've said in a previous video, probably in the last, I think part 2 video, I've taken on a lot more than what I wanted to. But to be honest, while Knight Rider is in the garage and while I can't do stuff to kit, this is a good project that I can get on with, which keeps me busy. I've got lots of other stuff I want to do, but I've put so much effort and so much work into this now that I really do want to get it finished to a point that I can just put it in the corner of my workshop, of my garage, and then just leave it as a prop. Now I can leave it there as one of my cool projects that I've built. So yeah, still bits and pieces left to do. So yeah, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and like the video if you like it. And I've got lots more videos coming up of Knight Rider and this UFO project as well.